Where do I find it? In a kiss? In a caress? In the pain of flagellation? Wrong, Shirley, wrong. Agony, agony, the agony of flagellation. Hello.
Just checking in on my favorite star before turning out the lights.
Oh, Bert, thank heaven it's you.
You sound a little bit unstrung. You haven't been getting any more crank calls, have you?
No, not tonight. I guess I'm just a little on edge.
Are you comfortable with the memorizing?
Yeah, almost. The concentration seems to be coming back.
You see, I knew it would. The last thing you did before,
Go on, Bert, say it before the fall.
Well, you know, the movies where you only have to memorize one line before lunch. The stage separates the models from the magicians, my darling. And you are pure magic up on that stage.
I love you. Keep talking.
Lou just called.
Yeah.
The theater is sold out for the entire run here. And New York will be the same.
I wish I'd had you around for the last 3 years.
Why don't you beat Agnes at some cribbage and take a hot bath, and I'll see you at 10.
I'm just going to have to settle for solitaire. Agnes is off tonight.
What do you mean?
Well, she's not exactly a babysitter, Bert.
Well, I didn't want you to be alone these last few nights, Cheryl.
Well, don't you worry. That wretched fox Agnes has put a pencil line at the booze level of every bottle in the house. Huh. It's funny, I thought I closed that.
What's the matter?
Well, I guess the wind just blew open one of the doors downstairs. Let me check, Bert, huh? Hello? Who's there? Hello? Who is that? Bert, I think there's someone in the house.
Are you sure, Shirley? It could be Agnes.
No, nobody answered.
All right. Shirley, you stay there. I'm going to have Carla get on this line. I'm going to get on the other line and call the police. We'll be right over.
All right. But, Bert, please, hurry. Shirley, honey, this is Carla. Are you all right?
Operator,
Shirley?
I want the police. This is an emergency.
Shirley? Shirley? Oh, please answer. Look, just take whatever you want and leave. I've called the police. I've called the police. They'll be here any minute. Shirley? I've called the police. They're coming. Get out of the house. Please just get out. Get out. Ah! Oh, don't.
Shirley! Shirley! Cheryl.
Oh, Bert. Oh, thank God.
Oh, baby. It's all right. It's all right.
I spoke to Lieutenant Biddle. The police feel it was a prowler. There have been a number of those around here lately.
They're sure that it was a prowler?
Well, they thought it might have been something more serious at first, but then when Miss Evans said it was she that grabbed the scissors, the lieutenant probably figured it was just a prowler who decided to try his luck elsewhere.
Well, I hope so, Mr. Jones. I dearly hope so. I hope that hiring you was a complete waste of money.
Happens that way sometimes.
Well, but I don't think so. I've got the biggest show of this decade and the biggest talent of this century opening in 3 days. I hear trouble in the wings. I think somebody is trying to sandbag my star.
Who?
That's what I'm hoping you'll find out.
Well, my next question is why?
Why?
Why would anybody want to keep Shirley Evans from making a comeback?
Lunacy. The world is brimming with it. Some nut probably wants to keep her from appearing again.
She kind of dimmed out fast in the last 3 or 4 years, didn't she?
Sure, she dimmed out. She lost both her parents by the time she was 21 years old. She had 2 frightful marriages in 5 years. She was left with a daughter she hardly ever got a chance to see. She took pills to keep going. Took pills to calm down. She started drinking booze to make everything look pastel and pretty. And then I think that accident in New York finally tore it.
Something about an unhappy ending to a Broadway party, wasn't there?
Car she was in hit and killed another young woman. Jail? Felonious driving charges? Suspended sentence.
And there went her career.
All she needed was a transfusion of confidence and a great script and music. She rose like a phoenix.
Delicate bird, the phoenix. You think somebody declared open season?
How's she doing?
Anything but a delicate bird this morning, Mr. Parrish.
Mr. Jones, this is Ed Davis, our publicist.
How do you do?
Mr. Jones? If they make it a routine prowler report, I doubt the press will even pick up on it.
Well, I certainly hope not. Eddie, Mr. Jones is a private investigator. So now that you know that, forget I told you, okay?
Well, you didn't even have to say anything, Mr. Parrish.
You're blooming.
Orange juice. It's a neutered screwdriver.
You're a good nurse, Agnes.
Nurse, I ain't. I mean, everything else around here, but a nurse, I ain't.
She's a warden.
No such thing.
Shirley, this is Barnaby Jones. Remember I told you about him?
How do you do, Mr. Jones?
How do you do?
Bert, you really are too much. I mean, a private dressing room I expect, but a private investigator.
Well, Miss Evans, just think of me as a fan looking for somebody who may not be.
Okay. But really, I think probably it was just somebody who was after the silver or the color TV.
Neither of which were taken.
Well, I should hope not. I mean, if he was half as scared as I was, he's probably 10 pounds lighter and halfway to China by now. Why don't you sit down?
Thank you. You say he. Did you see him?
No, not really. As I told the police, it was like a shadow. It all happened so fast. Police seem to think maybe it was a teenage prowler.
Police don't know about the phone calls, Cheryl.
Mr. Parrish told me about your threatening phone calls. Nobody says anything, they just play a recording.
Well, it was a bad enough line when I had to say it in the film, but when somebody plays it back to you on the phone, it gets pretty scary.
This was a recording of your voice?
Did you ever watch the late movies, Mr. Jones?
Constantly.
Do you remember you've destroyed everything of value, you don't deserve to live?
Has a familiar ring. Miss Evans, how many people have your phone number out here?
She has unlisted numbers on both lines, but everybody in the company and the press, they all have them by now.
Well, that narrows it down considerably. Miss Evans, from now on, I want somebody to be with you at all times.
Are you kidding with this entourage? Come on, let's get that piano player to work, huh?
Oh, why don't you take it easy and rest today? I'll have Jill go through it with the cast.
Oh, sure. And then on opening night, you can go out and tell the audience that Shirley Evans just doesn't have the Heather Bloom number right yet. But you just happen to have her understudy, Jill Mallory, who will perform it for you.
All right. All right.
Why don't you two run along, and I'll stay around here and poke around a little, if you don't mind.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Jones, you get to keep all the fingerprints you can find.
Thank you.
Shirley? Shirley? I gotta talk to you.
Well, she doesn't want to talk to you.
Get out of here, Kilgore. Shirley.
Get in the car, Shirley.
Stop ordering her around.
Well, I'll order you around. Now, leave her alone. She doesn't need you anymore. Drown yourself in a bottle if that's your style, but stay away from her. Get in the car, Shirley.
From your look, I'd say you could tell me what that was all about.
Well, that's the trash my baby wound up with when she stopped listening to me.
Lloyd Kilgore. There used to be a famous running back by that name.
That's him. Old Mr. used to be. Big Super Bowl star. He hurt his back, but always gonna be a big this or that. The only big thing he'll ever be is a big drunk.
And that's who Miss Evans has been keeping company with the last 2 or 3 years?
Shirley's bright on all sides but one, the man side. Those 2 louses she married just wanted her for a name.
She had a baby, a little girl.
No, has is what I've been reminding her. If she's gonna start acting again, she might as well include acting like a mother. Keeping that little girl in that boarding school, it just isn't right.
Agnes, you're sounding like you're not too happy about Miss Evans going back on the stage.
I know it's just gonna happen all over again. I know it. She just isn't ready. If I had my way, she'd never go near that theater.
Oh, Heather Bloom, you've come a long, long way from Bloomington, Indiana, and lessons on the piano. A little finesse, a little finagle. You're ordering toast instead of a bagel. Ah, yes, you dropped the name of Rose and a little bit off the nose. And the accent hardly shows. You're the picture of a shiksa. You're going places, Heather, so packed. Last.
No, it's all right, Cheryl. It's coming beautifully.
I'm sorry, Bert. I'm sorry. I just get my mouth working and my feet stop.
Take 10. Talk to your feet.
All right.
When it's gone, it's gone.
Better not let her hear you say that, Jill.
I'm better than she is.
I won't quote you, but it's only a short step from understudy to unemployment.
If she really knew who you are, you'd be fired in a minute. Well, I've done my homework. I know where all the bodies are buried. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
Lloyd,
Honey, I gotta talk to you.
Lloyd, I told you it's all over.
Please, I need you.
Stop it. Stop saying that.
Look, it's gonna be different. You and I will go into business together.
Lloyd, please, no more drunk dreams. I made a mistake. Leave me alone, please.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I thought I told you to stay away from her.
Just get your hands off me. Hey, Vern! Not that easy, baby. Not that easy.
I take it that's not part of the rehearsal.
On opening night, he could be a disaster. I sure hope Mr. Parrish hasn't picked himself a falling star.
Get your 5 out. 8 ball off the cushion in the side pocket.
Not quite as good as a share of the Super Bowl, is it?
I know you from somewhere.
Sure. I'm the fellow you stiff-armed when you made your end run over to theater.
Sue me.
Well, I don't want to sue you, Mr. Kilgore, but I would like to level with you.
So level.
Somebody's been trying to make a lot of trouble from Miss Evans lately. I've been hired to find out who and to put a stop to it. Now, I have found that sometimes when you come right out and say it, trouble stops. And I collect my money just as you do when you sink the 8 ball.
I don't know what you're talking about. Give me double, Wendell. You still here?
Yep. Do you have any special reason for not wanting to see Miss Evans on that stage opening night?
It's her funeral, not mine. Just trying to make a fool out of her, don't you know that?
Why do you say that?
She's in no condition to get on the stage. She's like me, washed up drunk. They get her up there, make a fool out of her, and then what? Huh? What? We were fine, just fine. Why don't they leave us alone?
Just for the record, do you recall where you were at 10:30 last night?
Yeah, it's here, having a few. No, at Cody's.
That doesn't check out, Mr. Kilgore. Over at Cody's, they say you left by 10 o'clock.
You're so smart, you figure it out. I don't know, just leave me alone.
Yeah, sure. Like they say, never hustle a hustler.
Well?
Look, we both know what's right, right? I mean, I can't say anything without seeming selfish, you know?
I'm sorry, Bert. Lloyd was just acting like an adolescent.
I don't care about him. I care about you.
But don't you fear. All I want is a little meditation with my feet. And they'll be back in working order tomorrow. I promise.
Who needs a promise? Could I ever be accused of coming between you and a communion with your feet?
I love you.
I love you. You meditate, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Hi, Agnes.
Mr. Parrish, I thought you were supposed to stop by the school to see Kathy this afternoon.
Oh, I completely forgot.
Well, don't whip yourself in front of me, lady. I'm the one who has to tell Kathy all those lies when she calls.
Agnes, I'm exhausted.
Your daughter's tired, too. Tired of being a number in a uniform in that boarding school.
Stop it! I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to get it all together for all of us. All right?
You tell me if it's all right. Well, what good is it all going to be if it's going to start all over again? Oh, no. The world needs a star, is that it? Well, Kathy needs a mother, and it don't look like she's going to get one, come good times or bad.
Just look who's talking. I never once heard you complaining about the good times. The bright lights never hurt your eyes, or the parties, or the trips. I never once heard you complaining about traveling first class. You are a hypocrite, Agnes. And if it weren't for me, you'd still be washing some floors in an office building.
You go to hell.
Agnes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I'll pick up my things later.
certainly doesn't look as though she had a drinking problem here. My, she was a beautiful woman.
Still is.
Oh?
When you say, oh, like that, I don't even have to look at you to know you're wearing that great big Cheshire Cat grin.
Really? Whenever I see you scratching around on your desk like a chicken, I have a feeling that what you're looking for is probably right under your nose. Some detective.
I knew it was there all the time. I just wanted to make you feel indispensable.
Mm-hmm. Tired and indispensable.
Yeah, here it is. The young woman who was killed by Miss Evans' car was Miss Phyllis Sherman. Betty, check the New York papers and see if you can come up with an obituary. There's a date.
Mm-hmm. I'll do that tomorrow morning. Has she any idea who's been making these calls?
No. She says it's a recording. Of course, anyone could have taken that off of a television rerun of one of her pictures. I got this from a TV station.
You've destroyed everything of value. You don't deserve to live.
Oh, dear.
Could be a crank call, but I don't like it, Betty. She's got an unlisted number, but that doesn't mean it's secret. I promised Mr. Parrish I'd give her a call tonight.
Please. Please, just leave me alone. Whoever you are, stop calling. Please.
Miss Evans, listen now. This is Barnaby Jones.
Oh.
Have you been getting calls from that voice again?
Yes. Twice. A half hour ago. I tried to call Bert. I'm afraid.
Let me talk to Agnes.
Agnes isn't here. We had a fight. She's gone.
Miss Evans, what is it?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
What's the matter?
There's someone here again. I gotta get out.
Betty, call the police on the other phone. Tell them to get over there right away. Miss Evans.
Leave me alone. No.
No!
My apologies, Miss Evans. For discounting the call the other night as just another prowler. It must have been Kilgore. He didn't get away so lucky this time. Looks like he fell, hit his head.
Oh, no.
Don't, Cheryl.
Why did it have to be him?
Who knows?
Accident, Lieutenant?
Almost by the book, Barnaby. The jilted boyfriend comes back to harass the girlfriend. Only in this case, he probably stumbled back. We've got a drunk sheet on Kilgore that long.
Well, if he was running away, he sure took a wrong direction. Why did he start for the pool area?
Drunks and directions don't mix very well. Did you ever see one driving down the freeway the wrong way? Just as fatal.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you find out any different, be sure to let me know, huh?
Sure will, Lieutenant.
Miss Evans, I don't think you'll be troubled by prowlers any longer. We can get a full statement on this later.
Certainly. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Talk to you, Barnaby.
Miss Evans, when you were being chased and running and trying to find your way out of the house, did you see that it was Kilgore?
No. If I'd known, I wouldn't have run from him. I'm not afraid of Lloyd. I feel sorry for him. Eddie, could I have something to drink, please?
I'll get you some water, Miss Evans. Mr. Parrish.
I'm not sure that this explains the phone calls.
Why do you say that? Kilgore could easily have
I
got-
don't think so. Kilgore was a muscular, overt type of man, kind of would barge in. I can't see him fiddling with tape recorders or scary phone calls.
Well, I suppose your judgment is right. I'll have to get the phone numbers changed, I guess.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes?
I think I better run down to the press room. See if I can detour the story from the newspapers. At least soften the facts a little, you know.
That's a good idea, Eddie. Thanks for coming over so soon.
Yeah.
Mr. Davis on call 24 hours a day?
Excuse me?
He got here awfully fast.
Well, I think he said he had to come over here anyway to pick up some pictures or something.
I was having a phone conversation with Miss Evans when it happened. She said that she'd had a quarrel with Agnes.
Cheryl and Agnes have been going at it for years. They were arguing about Cheryl's daughter, she said.
His daughter live around here?
In Candlewood. It's a private school out in the hills.
Why can't she see me? She promised.
Oh, Kathy, when you get older, you will have to realize that promise means try.
You're older. You come when you promise.
Go ahead, Agnes. Explain that one. Hello, Pet. How are you?
Maybe if I were a pet, you'd keep me around the house.
Hush now.
Kathy, I'm doing this for both of us. You have to understand that.
I do. You're in a place you can afford to keep me. But you can't keep me because you're in a play.
I'm working. I'm gone all day.
That's nothing. I'm gone all year. What do you care?
I do care, Kathy.
At least when you were drunk, you used to come and see me. I liked you better when you were drunk.
Don't talk to your mother like that.
What mother? You don't care. All you care about is yourself and your theater.
Kathy? Please.
Oh, let her go. Little hurts like that hurt big when they're that age.
Agnes, what am I supposed to do?
I heard about last night, and I'm sorry that I wasn't there. Really sorry.
Why should you be any different? Nobody's ever there when I need them. What do people want from me, anyhow?
Ah, yes, you've dropped the name of Rose, just a little bit off the nose, and the accent hardly shows. You're the picture of the ships, you're going places heather so pack. Oh, Heather Bloom, you've come a long, long way from Bloomington, Indiana. Pity you, what'll you do if you ever have to go back?
Take 10. Steve, your stir cross is over too far.
You like?
That was good.
Wrong. It was perfect.
Maybe I better introduce myself.
Barnaby Jones. An understudy has to know everything that goes on stage and backstage.
Then you probably know what happened to Miss Evans offstage.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry.
You're a very good actress.
What do you mean?
Well, I might be sitting here thinking that you really were sorry if I hadn't seen you with Mr. Kilgore in that bar yesterday.
So?
So,
What business were you discussing with Mr. Kilgore?
No business.
No business is like show business. I think I got that right.
Right, so what? I did it for the good of everyone. She isn't ready. She'll ruin everything and everybody. Mr. Parrish is so obsessed with the idea of resurrecting that old lush, he'd never listen. So I tried to get Lloyd Kilgore to talk some sense to her. That's all.
Well, if he tried, he died trying.
Sorry, I can't help that.
And any plans you may have had with Mr. Kilgore died with him?
What's that supposed to mean?
Shirley Evans is a star to the core. She has recovered from shocks worse than this. She'll be on stage opening night.
I wouldn't count on it. Shirley Evans is also a lush to the core. She's an inch away from popping the cork and going under. Again.
Shirley, I'm home, honey. Honey, you in here?
Barnaby Jones.
You said to call if there's any trouble.
Well, yes, Agnes, what's the matter?
She's been here and gone, and she's at the bottle again. She's drinking again.
Well, you stay right there, Agnes. I think I may be able to find her.
Well, it's partly my fault. Find her, please. Please find her.
Yeah, I'll try.
Oh, sorry. Are you in a rush?
Yeah.
Right here, take a look at this. For you. It's the obituary notice of the girl in New York.
Survived by her father, Edward R. Davis of Los Angeles. Good work, Betty. Check him out.
Oh, well, where are you off to?
Our lamb has strayed. I gotta catch her before she goes off the deep end.
One more. One for the money and two for the show.
That one for the money's all right, but it's a two for the show to get you.
Hey, Barnaby. I don't have to drink alone after all.
You don't have to drink at all.
Agnes told you, hmm? A wretched old fox.
Agnes is worried about you.
Go on back and tell her not to worry.
Well, why don't you come back with me and then you could tell her?
No. My little Kathy was right. Shouldn't I have a little girl?
Yeah, I know. I don't think she'd like what you're doing.
Oh, yes, she would. Kathy and Lloyd were both right. This is where I belong, right here. Everybody going their own way, minding their own business. Just gonna sit right here, blend in with everybody. It's an extra, that's it. Walk on, that's the role I want to play.
You're not everybody, Miss Evans. You're something special. That's the reason people make the demands on you that they do. They're hungry for something that you can be, something special. It's not that they're selfish, but they need you. Never mind about them. Think about you. Doing the thing you were born to do and knowing that you're doing it better than anybody else. Not one person in 100 million makes it to the top of the mountain. It's a pretty view from up there. Much better than the view from the bottom of a bottle.
I want to do it. So bad. I want to do it.
Well, this is all that's keeping you from it. Come on, I'll help you. We can wade all the way home, still shallow.
Mr. Parrish said you wanted to see me?
Yes. I was just looking at the pool. Strange, isn't it?
Strange? What's strange?
How something built for pleasure can become a death trap.
I hadn't thought of it that way. Accidents happen.
I was thinking about another accident happened in New York 5 years ago. When your daughter was run down and killed by a car being driven by Miss Evans. You think that just happened, or Miss Evans was responsible and should have been punished?
My daughter was known by her married name. So far, no one here has connected except Jill Mallory. Did she tell you?
I've been sort of combing the birds out of the fur on my own. And the obituary notice listed an Edward R. Davis as the father. I found out that was you.
I won't pretend I have any loving fondness for Shirley Evans, but I'm a professional, and so is she.
And you don't harbor any old grudges?
Just a long-buried feeling of hurt, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I love my daughter as much as any father, but Phyllis was wild. She ran with a pack, and she... Everyone concerned has suffered enough a long time ago.
That's very understanding of you.
But you don't believe me.
Let's say I'd like to believe you.
Well, that's fair enough. Oh, boy. That's why they call them deadlines. You kill yourself trying to beat them.
If you're going to start spending the nights here, I'm going to order a day bed for the office, okay?
What?
It's almost 10 o'clock. Look, I know it's not important to cute fellas like you, but I really need my beauty sleep.
Betty, would you please get me Mrs. Parrish on the phone?
Don't you mean Mr. Parrish?
When I say Mrs., I mean Mrs.
Poor Mr. Parrish. I wonder if his show is ever going to open.
You ever have the thought that maybe he doesn't want it to open?
What?
You ever hear the producer who sold 200% of his show and the only thing that could save him was a quick flop?
Mrs. Parrish? Yes, would you please hold for Barnaby Jones?
Miss Parrish, I hope I didn't disturb you.
No. What can I do for you?
The other night, when your husband was talking to Miss Evans, he gave you the phone. Is that right?
Yes. Well, he went to the other phone to call the police.
You stayed right on that phone until Mr. Parrish and the police got to Miss Evans.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid I didn't have anyone to talk to. Poor Shirley had dropped the phone and run for her life by then.
Now, Miss Parrish, I'm going to ask you to tell me exactly everything that you heard on that phone.
Hello?
You've destroyed everything of value. You don't deserve to live.
Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you?
This is Agnes. May I speak to Mr. Jones? That crazy call, I just got one.
Agnes, Mr. Jones isn't here. Hold on while I try and reach him at another number, please. Oh, just hold on.
Okay.
Magnificent dog.
Tame as an old cow, really. He's got a good barker on him, though. Only trick he knows is barking.
You keep him outside at night?
Yeah. He'd be out there now if you weren't here.
You don't have to know any more tricks than that, son.
Hello?
You got smart written all over you.
It's for you. Your daughter-in-law?
Oh, thank you. Betty?
Barnaby, I have Agnes on the other line. She just got one of those crank calls again. I thought they were all over.
Well, it's not quite all over, Betty. Keep talking to her. I'll get right over there.
Agnes? Agnes? Agnes, are you there?
It's all right, Miss Evans. There's no one here. There's never been anyone here, has there?
What?
You deserve every acting award you ever received, there's no doubt about it. Lloyd Kilgore saw your performance the other night, and it cost him his life. That's the way it happened, isn't it?
Lloyd?
You never did want to do that show. You were just looking for an excuse to find a way out.
You don't know what it's like out there every night. All those faces studying me, staring at me. Those stupid faces eating at me. I'm never gonna do that again. Never, never.
It's all right, Shirley. You don't have to do it anymore.
I don't. No. I don't.
Not anymore.
It's all I ever wanted. Ever since I was little. Ever since I was a little girl. I never wanted to be out there.
Oh, my poor baby. I always had a feeling. I always had a feeling.
It was terror that destroyed her, Mr. Parrish. Shirley Evans was scared to death of the millions of people who loved her.
My God, the torture she must have gone through all these years. Being on the stage must have been like the fire of Hades for her. How could you know that?
I didn't until that big old police dog next door started me to thinking.
It's incredible to me. But you were right. I couldn't hear it barking the night I called Cheryl on the phone.
Neither did your wife later, which meant that no one had entered or left through those doors. Miss Evans was here alone until you and the police came, and then the dog started barking.
What about the night Kilgore came snooping around?
I heard the dog barking myself. Miss Evans was in here putting on the act of her life. Kilgore had seen her, so it was a matter of life and death to her, so she killed him. Then in one last desperate effort, she tried to involve Agnes by calling up on the other line and hitting her in the head. She knew that someone was listening on the phone. She had an audience.
Don't talk about her like she's a criminal now. A bump on the head is nothing.
Oliver, not even a little smile for all your friends? Look at the nice presents. Aren't they pretty? Come on, Oliver, a teeny-weeny little smile. Well, I guess there are still lots of blessings we can count. It's been such a nice party, and we have all really had a good time, haven't we? And next year on his birthday... Why, thank you, Charles.
Ooh, my, look at the time. Mrs. Brennan is going to be scolding us tomorrow. You know, it's way past all your bedtimes. It's past my bedtime, too, and I've still got a long drive home.
Now, gentlemen, I know we've really enjoyed ourselves tonight, but I think we better be... Oh. Come on, gentlemen, come on. Good night. Good night, Oliver. Happy birthday. Good night, Dad. See you in the morning.
How do you do? My name is Barnaby Jones. I'm here to see a Mr. Donald Harrelson.
Oh, yes, Mr. Jones. Mr. Harrelson is my nephew's attorney. He's expecting you. I'm Tim's aunt, Edna Morrison. How do you do? Please, won't you come in?
Thank you.
Are you going to charge my client, or aren't you?
Don't push me, counselor.
My client has a witness that puts him in this house last night. What more do you want?
Barnaby, what are you doing here?
I asked him to come. Thanks for making it so fast. Barnaby, this is my client, Tim Landis.
Hello, sir. How do you?
And his sister, Alicia.
How do you do?
Sir, I'm very glad you could
Barnaby, I might have a word with you first, please.
Sure.
I'll join you if you don't mind. I'm just on my way out anyway.
Don, just what is this all about? All I could get out of Betty had something to do with the girl who was killed last night.
I thought the name Tim Landis would ring a bell with you. He was my client 2 years ago in a murder trial, accused of killing a young woman.
Declared innocent by reason of insanity? Yeah, I think the papers referred to him as the orchid killer.
The young woman that was killed last night, they found an orchid next to her body, too. She was a nurse at the state hospital where Tim had been confined up until his release 2 weeks ago.
We kept that little detail of the orchid out of the papers this time. Thought we ought to keep the press out of this for a while. Counselor, you see that your client doesn't make any quick trips out of town.
Lieutenant, his sister told you she was with him from 8 o'clock until after midnight.
You're so sure of that. What's he doing here? I'll see you later, Barnaby.
Lieutenant? Don, I think Lieutenant Biddle just raised a pertinent question. What am I doing here?
Mr. Jones, I told Mr. Harrelson to call you. Dodd said he wanted to speak to you first. I guess to avoid any embarrassment in case you wanted to turn around and walk out that door because you know who I am. I realize I'm not the most desirable of clients, but I'd like you to help me, Mr. Jones.
Well, it depends on what you have in mind.
Look, I'm due at a probate sale in 20 minutes.
Go ahead, Don. I think I can tell Mr. Jones everything he needs to know.
All right. If either of you need me for anything, I can be reached through my exchange.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jones, last night...
Would you like a cup of coffee, Mr. Jones?
Well, no, thank you, but a glass of cold milk would do nicely.
I brought some cookies to go with your milk, Mr. Jones.
They are just plain scrumptious, ma'am.
Henry, be careful of that cart, dear. It has a loose wheel.
I know, dear. I know. Mr. Jones, this is my uncle, Henry Morrison.
Pleasure, sir.
Mr. Morrison?
Come highly recommended by Mr. Harrelson. And in this house, that means a great deal.
Well, is there anything else I can get for anyone?
Perhaps we should just leave them alone to talk now, dear.
Oh, very well.
Now, did anyone else see you last night?
Well, I'm not sure.
You make any phone calls?
No, I don't think so.
Mr. Landis, there's an old saying that one rooster can't do another one scratching for him. If you keep on hemming and hawing, I can't help you.
I don't know where I was last night. I just blacked out, like I did 2 years ago.
Your sister told the police she was with you.
She was only trying to protect me. It's not her fault.
Mr. Jones, Tim may have blacked out last night, but he didn't kill that girl. I mean, if you knew him as I do, you'd know he couldn't do such a terrible thing.
Can you remember anything from last night?
Yes, I can. And everything I told the police, up to a point, is the truth. I was working on my car. Alicia was with me till 8:30, 8:45.
Yes?
According to the news reports, the murder occurred around 10 o'clock.
I know. The last thing I remember, it was about 9 o'clock. I was driving my car out the front gate. I wanted to take it for a run. The next I knew, it was dawn, and I was sleeping in my car about 3 miles down the road. Mr. Jones, I couldn't have killed that girl. I don't think I could kill anyone.
Well, I'm not sure I can go along with lying to the police.
Don't you see? If I told them what I just told you, there'd be no questions, no more investigation. They'd throw me back in that hospital, probably for the rest of my life. For me, I have to know for sure whether I did it or if I didn't.
What if my investigation proved you did? What then?
Then you'll have no problem with me. I'll go quietly with you to the police.
Well, son, under those ground rules, I think we can get down to work.
We can talk in here.
Thank you. Doctor, Tim tells me that in spite of a series of exhaustive tests, you were never able to determine exactly what caused his blackouts, either physically or emotionally.
Yeah, well, that's true as far as it goes. You have to remember that much of Tim's life has been like one long emotional ping-pong match. First of all, his mother dies, after which his father marries Alicia's mother, a woman that Tim actively hated. Then his father and his stepmother are both killed in a light airplane accident.
This woman that Tim hated, that was Alicia's mother.
That's right.
But there is no blood relationship between them. That is, they're not actually brother and sister.
No, that didn't stop Alicia from being devoted to Tim the 2 years that he was here. Well, I don't think she missed one day for visiting. The point I was trying to make is that while we couldn't find any specific cause for Tim's problem, there is certainly fertile ground for trouble.
I'm not challenging you, Doctor.
Well, when something like this happens, people always blame the doctor. They think of us as gods, and we're certainly not that. We probed Tim Landis's subconscious. We used sodium pentothal. We used hypnosis. We used psychotherapy. We couldn't find any deep-seated hostility or even a penchant for violence. So after a time, we recommended for release.
You're beginning to sound as though you're almost ready to change your diagnosis.
Are the police sure that Tim was involved in that murder last night?
Right now, he's the #1 suspect. I'm curious, Doctor. That murder 2 years ago, was Tim ever able to recall it?
No, never.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Hey, old buddy. Thought you'd been had.
What do you mean?
Well, drove by your house this morning. There were cops all over the place.
Yeah, well, they made a mistake. They thought I was someplace else last night, when in fact I was at home. When I explained that to them, they turned a whiter shade of pale, apologized profusely, and exited with their tail between their legs.
Why would they care where you were?
A nurse was killed at the hospital last night. I knew her. Awful. Anyway, I brought that manifold I told you about. Here it is, pal.
Look, you don't have to give me that. You know you could pick up a lot of bucks for it.
Go on, take it. I want you to have it, if you'd like to.
Like I said, you don't have to. I mean, what are friends for? I'm cool. They won't get anything from me. Blood brothers, right?
Are we speaking on the same subject? All I'm doing is giving you a manifold.
You sure must have done some fast talking to get those cops to buy that story about you being home last night.
What do you mean?
I mean, you were at my place last night, don't you remember?
I was at your place?
Yeah, and you were talking about some chick, that nurse.
No, that couldn't be.
Hey, come on, you're putting me on, Tim, you remember?
What time did I leave?
9:30? Hey, look, you're shaking. Hey, man, even if it's true, calm down. Hey, don't worry about it. I won't tell anyone. Honest, Tim, I won't tell anyone.
Mr. Jones.
I didn't mean to startle you. Ms. Morrison, I was looking for Tim. I understand he's not home, but Alicia said that I'd find you working out here. Say, that is a beauty. Cattleya, isn't it?
Well, yes. Do you know flowers?
Oh, but I had a maiden aunt who used to say, flowers are the sweetest things God ever created and forgot to put a soul in.
Well, maybe it's just as well. If these orchids had souls, I'm afraid they'd be weeping now for those horrid murders.
I had a very interesting lunch today with Mr. Harrelson. I didn't realize until he told me that all this is Tim's. At least it will be after his 25th birthday next month.
That's right.
And you will be administering his estate until then?
I have been for the past 8 years, ever since since Tim's father died. You see, my husband and I never had any children of our own, and, well, we've tried to do our best by Tim and Alicia.
According to Mr. Harrelson, you've done a fine job, not only with the children, but taking care of Tim's money.
Thank you. But I'm afraid you might get an argument from Tim as far as his money goes. I think if I had let him, he would have given most of it away by now. He's like that, you know.
Well, wisdom comes with experience. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to your wisdom and counsel for many years to come.
I don't know.
Thank you very much.
Well, sport.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm very glad that Alicia invited you over to swim.
So that's what you told him. I invited you swimming.
Well, you did once when we were in school together. In the 10th grade, remember? Thanks for the drink, Timmy.
Ah, yes, the 10th grade. I remember that. That was the year the headmaster caught you and Bill Dunsley out behind the bleachers.
You really do get your claws out when somebody gets even close to your big brother, don't you? The only thing is he isn't even your real brother.
Oh, now, come on. What difference does it make who invited Sherry over? She's here, so let's enjoy ourselves, huh?
By all means. After we've all had a swim, Sherry can keep us fascinated by tales of her exploits in the 11th and 12th grades.
Alicia, please.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have come. I thought you might want to go to a party. I wanted to invite you. Excuse me.
Sherry.
Tim, let her go. She's nothing but a trampy little gold digger.
Why don't you let me decide who I'm going to be with? Huh? Sherry!
That Sherry is not quite as tough a fighter as some of Tim's other girlfriends are. Most of them last at least 3 rounds.
Must be pretty difficult to be as close as brother and sister and yet not be. Is she always that protective of him?
Well, only if Alicia thinks some female is getting too close to him. You know, once she even tried to have one of the nurses out of the hospital fired.
You know, according to Mr. Harrelson, Alicia doesn't share in the estate unless something happens to Tim.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. Listen, can I pour you a drink, or are you, as they say, on duty?
I'm on duty. I think I better try to catch up with Tim. There are a few questions I ought to ask him.
Mr. Jones, have you found anything out yet?
Well, Tim, a lot of times a detective is like an old hunting dog. He has to go by his instincts. Right now, my instinct tells me that if we could just solve the mystery of why you black out.
I've tried, Mr. Jones. I don't know how many sessions I've had with the shrink.
Yes, I talked with Dr. Reston. He told me that 2 years ago, when you had your blackout, several weeks before that, you had a series of spells which made you dizzy and disoriented.
Yes, sir, I did. The first dizzy spells occurred about 3 weeks before the first blackout. They would last anywhere from a couple of hours to one that lasted almost 2 days.
Did you have any spells before last night?
No, sir, not one.
That girl that was killed 2 years ago, she was a former girlfriend of yours, wasn't she?
Please, Mr. Jones. I don't want to go through that again. It's all in Dr. Reston's files.
Well, son, I wouldn't be asking if it weren't important.
Alicia and I were having a party. There must have been 200 people here. It was around midnight. I was somewhat smashed when Jeanette called me. I was also surprised to hear from her. We had broken up 2 months before that.
But you still agreed to meet her.
She sounded frightened. She said she had to see me. She said it was a matter of life and death.
Did anyone else at the party know you got that call?
Just about everyone, I guess. Aunt Edna answered the phone. They must have searched through the whole house before they found me in the pool. I was somewhat drunk.
But last night before the blackout, you spent some time in here.
Yes, sir, I did.
Do any drinking?
The only thing I had to drink last night was a quart of buttermilk.
Don't you think you've had enough already?
I suppose you would. But then I guess that kind of thing is measured by some sort of standard, isn't it? Somehow I was under the impression that we had lost all that sort of thing.
We?
Yes, we. What are we even doing here? None of this is ours. This is Tim's house.
Tim is my brother's child, and I intend to look after him as long as need be.
People should live their own lives in their own houses. That's what I think.
Tim, it's after 11 o'clock.
Yes, well, thank you. I'll be in after a while.
Oh, it's chilly out here. You ought to have a jacket. I'll go in the house and get you one.
No, please. I'm not cold.
Something wrong, dear?
Nothing's wrong.
Tim, do you have to drink so much?
What's the matter? You afraid I'll be like Uncle Henry? I happen to like Uncle Henry. I'm sorry, Annette. I didn't mean to scream at you. I just want to be left alone.
Very well.
Edna, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Tim, I waited and waited for you at the party and you never showed up. Why not? You promised you'd try.
I'm sorry, Sherry. I got involved with tuning up my car. It's still not running right, though.
Well, if you want something to run right, you have to take it out and test it sometimes.
Yes, well, I'm kind of tired.
You don't look tired to me, Tim. Come on, let's go out and have our own party, just the two of us.
All right, get it.
Why don't we head up to the old Cutter's place? There's no one there this time of year.
What?
I said, why don't we go up to the old Cutter? Tim, are you all right? Tim, what's wrong? Oh! Tim, please stop the car! Stop the car! Oh! Tim, what is it? What's the matter?
Please, no. Don't hurt me, please. Don't hurt me, please. Stay away. No.
Tim! Tim, what is it? Tim! Tim, please come back! Timmy!
He's inside. The cleaning crew found him right outside the door and called me. I'll get him some coffee.
Back where I come from, only preachers and beer drinkers get up at this hour on a Sunday morning. We got trouble?
It happened again last night. I blacked out. Only this time I can remember some things. I remember the girl. She was screaming. I was running. I hope she's all right.
Where did this happen?
On a mountain road. I don't know where.
Did you try to get in touch with her this morning?
I called her apartment. Her roommate answered. Said she hadn't been home yet. Mr. Jones, I'm not going to go back to that hospital, please.
Oh, wait a minute. What time did all this start to happen?
Aunt Edna came by the garage to tell me it was after 11. Sherry came by after that. We decided to go for a drive. I started to feel that awful dizziness. I remember the headlights coming in through the window. Sherry grabbed the wheel.
Any idea where you wound up? Where your car is now?
No, sir.
Between dinner and the time that Sherry arrived, did you have anything to eat or drink?
No. Oh, wait. There was a bottle of red wine. I had a couple of glasses of that.
Barnaby, that was Lieutenant Biddle on the phone. They found Tim's car with the girl's body next to it.
When they finish photographing, I don't want anything touched until the fingerprint boys are here. I don't want our little Romeo slipping through our fingers again.
Let it be known, Lieutenant, that my client is giving himself up voluntarily.
Yeah. And if he'd done that yesterday, that pretty little girl might still be alive. Hate to say this, Barnaby, but this time I think you picked a wrong number. Sergeant, cuff him. Read him his rights.
Don't, please. I'll go freely, please. Don't, please.
Don't make trouble. Just turn around, put your hands behind you.
No! Don't be a fool!
Don't shoot! Hold your fire.
Mr. Jones.
Oh, good morning, Miss Morrison. This is my daughter-in-law, Betty Jones.
Hello. Mr. Jones, the police were here earlier. They said that Tim might be involved in the murder of another girl.
Yes, we've seen the police.
But what are you doing here? Tim hasn't come home yet.
Yes, I know. I was looking for a bottle of red wine and a glass that he drank out of last night.
I'm afraid I cleaned up in here this morning. I took the bottle and the glass into the kitchen. I'm afraid I ran the dishwasher through this morning. No, I think this is the one.
Won't make any difference anymore.
I'm sorry if I spoil something.
Where'd you put the bottle of wine?
That's odd. I'm sure I put it in here.
Henry,
Well, I hope you're not accusing me of consuming that soda pop that Tim calls wine.
Well, it couldn't have disappeared by itself.
Where do you keep your trash cans?
Come here, I'll show you. Yeah, that's the stuff that Tim drinks.
Clean as a whistle.
Clean.
Now, who would go to all the trouble to wash out a wine bottle? All except the cap. I'd like to take this down to my office and run a few tests. You mind? Thank you.
What's he doing?
He says he's taking the cap from the bottle of wine with him. He's going to have it tested.
Oh, the chloroform. I knew I'd ordered it.
Thanks. This will start us out.
What are we looking for?
It's called a thin layer test. If there are any foreign particles in the wine, this ammonia will bring it out.
Do you think something was added to Tim's wine?
Well, that would explain why they couldn't figure out what was causing his blackouts out at the hospital.
Well, it makes sense. Something could have been added to his buttermilk the other night and to his drinks 2 years ago.
And there it is.
Any guesses?
Well, if I'm right, it's a hallucinogenic. Probably LSD, that's the easiest to get.
LSD. Well, that would fit Tim's symptoms, the periods of disorientation and the blackouts.
Now, all we have to do is wait for this to dry, and we'll have our sample. Then, with a microscope, we compare it with one of these, and if it matches, we're in business.
Are these hallucinogenics?
Yeah, they were loaned to me by a friend of mine in the police lab. He said we could have them as long as we wanted them, provided that no wild parties break out up here. Barnaby Jones.
I'm a friend of Tim Landis's. He says he has to talk to you, and that he'll wait at the corner of Stratman and 3rd.
Who are you? Hello? Hello? I gotta talk to Tim.
Tim?
Betty, all you have to do is wait for this to dry, scrape some out, put it on the slide, microscope, and try to match it with one of these. Think you can do that?
I'll try.
See you in a little bit.
All right.
I did okay, huh?
Barnaby? Barnaby, it's just about dry. Listen, can I make the slide anyway? Barnaby?
Betty? Betty!
I'm in here, Barnaby.
Thank goodness you're all right. You know, when I realized that was a phony address, I called the police right away.
Barnaby, I got so scared I just ran out of here. I didn't even see who it was.
Come here. If you think I'm going to be upset with you for not becoming the orchid killer's 4th victim, you're in for a big disappointment.
We lost the test. I mean, now we'll never know what it was.
Yeah, but on the other hand, the killer has proved our suspicions. Or why would he or she sneak in here to steal back a couple of drops of cheap wine? If that's another one of Tim's friends, I'm not in.
Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you?
Hello, Betty. It's Tim. Can I speak to Mr. Jones, please?
Yes. It's Tim. Really.
Tim?
Mr. Jones, I wanted to call you to tell you I'm sorry for running out on you and for letting you down the way I did.
Listen, Tim, I've got something important to tell you. Now listen very carefully.
Mr. Jones, I can't turn myself in. I can't go back to that hospital. I don't care what happens.
Tim, listen to me. Listen, you are not the orchid killer, you understand? You are not a killer. All those blackouts and dizzy spells, those murders, they were all part of a big plan to set you up as a patsy.
How? Why?
I'm still working on that. Now, Tim, do you know anyone who may have had access to or used a hallucinogenic, possibly LSD?
LSD?
You that private detective?
Yeah, you're Tim's best friend, Jack Meyer.
Is there something you want?
I understand you used to manufacture LSD. Tim, I told you to go to the police.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. I couldn't miss this one.
What's this all about?
The orchid killer, Jack. Someone who put acid in my food and my drink.
Hey, now you're coming on awful strong. You don't think I did that?
Who else, old pal? You're the guy who used to make and sell the stuff.
That was a long time ago.
So was that party 2 years ago. You were there when Jeanette called. You knew I was going over there. Only she wasn't my girl anymore, was she? She was your girl. The girl you told everyone you were gonna marry. Unfortunately, she was some low-life tramp. And it was me she wanted to see. Me she called.
So how does it go, Timmy? I get crazy mad, dope you up with acid, rush over and kill her before you show up?
You must admit it's a pretty good motive for murder.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. Except for one stupid thing. I loved her. So maybe she was a bit of a tramp, secondhand. I mean, my whole life's been secondhand from Tim. My car, most of my clothes, anything I happen to want or need. He throws it to me like someone would throw scraps to a dog. Now, if I'd have killed anyone that night, it wouldn't have been Jeanette. It would have been you, Tim.
Hold it, right there. You told them I'd be here, didn't you?
Only in the event you didn't turn yourself in. Go with them, Tim. It'll be better for you.
Don't have much choice, do I?
Thanks, Barnaby.
Anytime, Lieutenant. Only don't make any long-range plans for holding him.
Goodbye, Jack.
You really meant that about Tim being doped with acid?
Yeah?
Who?
I was kind of hoping you'd tell me that. If it wasn't you...
It wasn't. I may have a lot of hang-ups, but when it gets right down to it, Tim's still my best friend.
What about that girl, Jeanette? Did she have access to acid?
She wouldn't do that to Tim. She may have taken some, but that's all.
Did you supply her with any LSD for a month or so before her death? I mean, maybe enough so she could deal?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did give her some extra. She said she had a customer who was willing to pay 3 or 4 times the going rate.
This customer, you remember her saying anything about him? Name, description?
Oh, my God, yes, I do.
Oh, Mr. Jones, come in. Come in.
Thank you.
Can I fix you a drink, Mr. Jones, or are you still on duty?
I'm afraid I'm still on duty.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I'm afraid Edna and Alicia are down at the police station with Tim. You know, the police finally caught up with that poor boy.
Yeah, so I heard, but I wanted to see you, Mr. Morrison.
Is that right?
I just had a talk with Jack Meyer. He told me the story of the girl, Jeanette. You remember Jeanette? That was the girl that Tim was supposed to have killed a couple of years ago?
Oh, yes. I remember her indeed. You should have seen her in a bathing suit, Mr. Jones.
Jeanette was selling LSD.
No. That is disappointing.
Yeah, she had a customer that you wouldn't expect, an older man with an eye for the chicks and never without a drink in his hand. The customer was you, Mr. Morrison.
How very clever of you, Mr. Jones. Please, may I have your gun? Put your hands up, please.
I don't think you were a murderer to start out with, but when you saw Tim getting older and realized one day this place would slip away from you.
Well, we all do develop these terrible habits, Mr. Jones. Tim would have left us without a cent when he was 25. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just gave Tim enough of the chemical to make him act strange every once in a while. That way I felt I could have him declared incompetent, and then...
Then Jeanette found out what you were doing with the drug. She called up to tell Tim. That's what happened, wasn't it?
Well, I did what I had to do.
Then Tim was released from the hospital, so you had to start killing again. First the nurse, then Sherry.
Well, when they lock Tim up this time, I'm quite sure that they'll throw away the key for good. Shall we step outside, Mr. Jones?
It's not going to do any good to kill me because I've already called the police.
Oh, you're bluffing, Mr. Jones.
Operator, I want the police in an ambulance. 4645 Cartwright Way.
We'd like to thank you, Mr. Jones, for everything you've done for us.
I'm just sorry about Aunt Edna. After everything that's happened, she still loves that man.
Too bad that Henry didn't find out a long time ago that that's worth more than money. Well, son, what are you going to do with your life now that you can live it without being afraid?
I thought about going back to school. How does Dr. Tim Landis sound to you?
That sounds great to me.
I figure there's no sense living this life unless you can make some good of it.
Looks like all those months you spent in the hospital weren't wasted. Good luck, Tim.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Theater of Fear. The bright lights of the entertainment world often hid the deepest shadows of the human heart, creating an illusion of glamour where there was only a fragile soul struggling to find peace. Barnaby Jones, a Quinn Martin production, starring Buddy Ebsen, also starring Lee Meriwether, with guest stars and Francis, William Smithers, Daniel J. Trevant, brought to life a story titled tonight's episode, Theater of Fear. It was a narrative that explored the heavy price of fame, the desperate search for love, and the ultimate triumph of human empathy over the terrifying pressures of the stage. Inside the quiet, dimly lit room of a grand house, a voice echoed with dramatic intensity, pouring out emotions that felt almost too raw for the fabric of reality. Love. Where do I find it? In a kiss? In a caress? In the pain of flagellation? Wrong. Surely wrong, wrong, wrong. Agony, agony. The agony of flagellation. Shirley Evans, a star whose name had once illuminated the grandest marquee signs, was rehearsing her lines, her voice trembling with a mixture of professional dedication and deep personal anxiety. The words she spoke carried a heavy weight, reflecting a darkness that she was trying desperately to overcome through her art. The heavy silence that followed her monologue was gently broken by the sound of a familiar voice. "Hello. Just checking in on my favorite star before turning out the lights." It was Bert Parrish, the dedicated producer who had invested everything into bringing Shirley back to the spotlight where he believed she belonged. "Oh, Bert. Thank heaven it's you," Shirley gasped, her hand flying to her chest as she exhaled a long breath of relief. The tension in her shoulders did not fully dissipate, but the presence of a trusted friend offered a temporary anchor in the shifting sea of her fears. "You sound a little bit unstrung," Bert remarked, his tone filled with genuine concern as he stepped closer, studying her pale face. "You haven't been getting any more crack calls, have you?" No, not tonight," Shirley replied quickly, shaking her head as if she could shake away the memories of those unsettling disturbances. "I guess I'm just a little on edge." "Are you comfortable with the memorizing?" Bert asked, shifting the conversation to the work that lay ahead, hoping to ground her in the familiar routine of the theater. "Yeah, almost," Shirley said, a faint smile touching her lips as she looked down at the script in her hands. "The concentration seems to be coming back." "You see, I knew it would," Bert said with an encouraging smile, his eyes shining with absolute faith in her talent. "The last thing you did before." He paused, catching himself before he could finish the sentence, realizing he was stepping into painful territory. "Go on, Bert, say it, before the fall," Shirley said softly, her voice tinged with a melancholy that she could not hide. "Well, the movies where you only have to memorize one line before lunch. The stage separates the models from the magicians, my darling, and you are pure magic up on that stage," Bert said passionately, stepping forward to offer her the reassurance she so desperately needed. "I love you. Keep talking." "Lou just called," Bert continued, sharing the latest good news from the production office. "Yeah, the theater is sold out for the entire run here, and New York will be the same." "I wish I'd had you around for the last 3 years," Shirley admitted, looking at him with deep gratitude. "Why don't you meet Agnes at some cribbage and take a hot bath, and I'll see you at 10, Bert suggested, wanting nothing more than for his star to rest and build her strength for the upcoming opening night. "No, I'm just going to have to settle for solitaire," Shirley said with a slight sigh, looking around the large, empty room. "Agnes is off tonight." "What do you mean?" Bert asked, surprise clouding his features. "Well, she's not exactly a babysitter, Bert," Shirley pointed out gently, defending her longtime companion and assistant. "Well, I didn't want you to be alone these last few nights, Cheryl," Bert admitted, his protective instincts kicking in. "Don't you worry," Shirley said, attempting to lighten the mood. "That wretched fox Agnes has put a pencil line at the booze level of every bottle in the house. It's funny, I thought I closed that." She stopped mid-sentence, her eyes fixing on the doorway at the end of the hall. A cold draft seemed to pass through the room, lifting the edge of the curtains. "What's the matter?" Bert asked, noticing the sudden change in her demeanor. "Well, I guess the wind just blew open one of the doors downstairs," Shirley murmured, trying to convince herself as much as him. "Let me check, Bert, huh? Hello? Who's there? Hello? Who is it?" The silence that answered her was heavy and suffocating. She gripped the telephone receiver tighter, her heart pounding against her ribs. "Bert, I think there's someone in the house," she whispered, fear finally breaking through her calm facade. "Are you sure, Shirley?" "It could be Agnes," Bert said, his voice tightening with sudden urgency. No, nobody answered," Shirley said, her eyes darting toward the dark hallway. "All right, Shirley, you stay there," Bert commanded, his mind working rapidly to ensure her safety. "I'm going to have Carla get on this line. I'm going to get on the other line and call the police. We'll be right over." "All right, but Bert, please hurry," Shirley pleaded, her voice dropping to a trembling whisper. Shirley, hi. This is Carla. Another voice broke through the line, calm and steady. Are you all right? Operator, I want the police. Bert's voice could be heard faintly in the background on the other line. This is an emergency. Shirley? Shirley? Oh, please answer, Carla called out, hearing only the sound of heavy breathing and shifting movements from Shirley's end. Look, just take whatever you want and leave, Shirley cried out into the empty room, her voice rising in panic as she backed away from the shadows. I've called the police. I've called the police. They'll be here any minute. Shirley? I've called the police. They're coming. Get out of my house. Please just get out. Get out. Don't. Don't. The line went dead, leaving only a terrifying silence in its wake. Later that night, the grand house was filled with the flashing lights of police vehicles, casting long blue and red shadows across the manicured lawn. Barnaby Jones stood in the spacious living room, his calm and seasoned presence offering a sense of stability amid the chaos. Shirley? Shirley? Oh. Shirley? Thank God. It's all right. It's all right, Bert said as he rushed into the room, leaning down to comfort the shaken actress. I spoke to Lieutenant Biddle. The police feel it was a prowler. There have been a number of those around here lately. You're sure that it was a prowler? Bert asked, looking toward the police officers who were inspecting the premises. Well, they thought it might have been something more serious at first, Barnaby Jones explained, his sharp eyes taking in every detail of the room. But then when Miss Evans said it was she that grabbed the scissors, the lieutenant probably figured it was just a prowler who decided to try his luck elsewhere. Well, I hope so, Mr. Jones, Bert said, running a hand over his face. I dearly hope so. Well, I hope that hiring you was a complete waste of money. Happens that way sometimes, Barnaby replied with a dry, gentle humor that often masked his deep intellect. But I don't think so. I've got the biggest show of this decade and the biggest talent of this century opening in 3 days, Bert said, his passion for the project returning. I hear trouble in the wings. I think somebody is trying to sandbag my star. Who? Barnaby asked simply, getting straight to the heart of the matter. That's what I'm hoping you'll find out, Bert admitted. Well, my next question is why, Barnaby said, pacing the room slowly. Why? Why would anybody want to keep Shirley Evans from making a comeback? Lunacy, Bert muttered, shaking his head. The world is brimming with it. Some nut probably wants to keep her from appearing again. She kind of dimmed out fast in the last 3 or 4 years, didn't she? Barnaby observed, recalling the trajectory of Shirley's public life. Sure she dimmed out, Bert defended her instantly, his voice softening with empathy for the troubled star. She lost both her parents by the time she was 21 years old. She had 2 frightful marriages in 5 years. She was left with a daughter she hardly ever got a chance to see. She took pills to keep going, took pills to calm down. She started drinking booze to make everything look pastel and pretty. And then I think that accident in New York finally tore it. Something about an unhappy ending to a Broadway party, wasn't it? Barnaby recalled, searching his memory for the old headlines. Car she was in hit and killed another young woman. Jail, felonious driving charges, suspended sentence. And there went her career. All she needed was a transfusion of confidence and a great script and music. She rose like a phoenix. Delicate bird to phoenix, Barnaby mused, considering the fragile nature of the actress's current state. You think somebody declared open season? How's she doing? Anything but a delicate bird this morning, Mr. Parrish, a new voice announced as Ed Davis entered the room, carrying a stack of papers. Mr. Jones, this is Ed Davis, our publicist. How do you do? Barnaby said, shaking the man's hand. Mr. Jones? If they make it a routine prowler report, I doubt the press will even pick up on it, Ed Davis said, turning to Bert with a professional focus. Well, I certainly hope not, Bert agreed. Eddie, Mr. Jones is a private investigator. So now that you know that, forget I told you, okay? Well, you didn't even have to say anything, Mr. Parrish, Ed said smoothly, acknowledging the need for discretion. In the sunlit morning room, Shirley Evans looked remarkably composed compared to the terror of the previous night. She smiled as Agnes, her loyal assistant, handed her a glass. "You're blooming," Bert praised, walking into the room with a look of relief. "Orange juice," Shirley said, holding up the glass with a smile. "It's a neutered screwdriver."
"You're a good nurse, Agnes."
"Nurse I ain't," Agnes grumbled, her voice sharp but filled with an underlying affection. "I'm everything else around here, but a nurse I ain't." "She's a warden," Shirley joked lightly, though there was a hint of truth in her observation. "No such thing," Agnes replied, adjusting a cushion. "Shirley, this is Barnaby Jones," Bert introduced, gesturing to the detective who stood near the entrance. "Remember I told you about him?" "How do you do, Mr. Jones?" Shirley said, offering a warm, professional greeting. "How do you do?" Barnaby replied, taking a seat opposite her. "Bert, you really are too much," Shirley said, turning to her producer with a fond shake of her head. "I mean, a private dressing room, I expect, but a private investigator." "Miss Evans, just think of me as a fan looking for somebody who may not be," Barnaby said gently, establishing a rapport based on mutual respect. "Okay," Shirley smiled. "But really, I think probably it was just somebody who was after the silver or the color TV. Neither of which were taken." "Well, I should hope not. I mean, if he was half as scared as I was, he's probably 10 pounds lighter and halfway to China by now. Why don't you sit down?" "Thank you," Barnaby said. "You say he.
Did you see him?"
"No, not really," Shirley admitted, her eyes clouding slightly as she recalled the event. "As I told the police, it was like a shadow. It all happened so fast." "Police seemed to think maybe it was a teenage prowler," Barnaby noted, watching her reaction closely. "Police don't know about the phone calls, Cheryl," Bert interjected, using her real name in his concern. "Mr. Parrish told me about your threatening phone calls," Barnaby said, leaning forward. "Nobody says anything, they just play a recording," Shirley explained, her voice dropping. "Well, it was a bad enough line when I had to say it in the film, but when somebody plays it back to you on the phone, it gets pretty scary." "This was a recording of your voice?" Barnaby asked, his interest piqued by this specific detail. "Did you ever watch the late movies, Mr. Jones?" Shirley asked, a faint, bitter smile on her face. "Constantly," Barnaby replied. "Do you remember you've destroyed everything of value, you don't deserve to live?" Shirley quoted, the words sounding hollow and painful coming from her lips. "That's a familiar ring," Barnaby murmured, recognizing the dramatic flair of the statement. "Miss Evans, how many people have your phone number out here?" "She has unlisted numbers on both lines," Bert answered for her. "But everybody in the company, in the press, they all have them by now." "Well, that narrows it down considerably," Barnaby said with a small smile. "Miss Evans, from now on, I want somebody to be with you at all times." "Are you kidding? With this entourage?" Shirley laughed, trying to shake off the serious atmosphere. "Come on, let's get that piano player to work, huh? Why don't you take it easy and rest today?" Bert suggested, noticing the faint lines of fatigue around her eyes. "I'll have Jill go through it with the cast." "Oh, sure. And then on opening night, you can go out and tell the audience that Shirley Evans just doesn't have the Heather Bloom number right yet," Shirley countered, her professional pride flaring up. "But you just happen to have her understudy, Jill Mallory, who will perform it for you." All right," Bert conceded, raising his hands in surrender. "Why don't you two run along, and I'll stay around here and poke around a little if you don't mind." "Okay," Bert said, heading toward the door. "Hey, Mr. Jones, you got to keep all the fingerprints you can find."
"Thank you."
Outside the grand house, a tense scene was unfolding near the driveway. A large, powerful man stepped out of a car, his face flushed with a mixture of anger and desperation. It was Lloyd Kilgore, a former sports star whose transition to civilian life had been rocky and marked by personal struggle. Shirley, I gotta talk to you," Lloyd called out, moving toward the front steps. "She doesn't want to talk to you." Agnes blocked his path, her face set in a stern expression. "Get out of here, Kilgore." "Shirley," Lloyd called out again, ignoring Agnes as Shirley appeared at the door. "Get in the car, Shirley," Agnes commanded, turning to the actress. "Stop ordering her around." "Well, I'll order you around," Lloyd snapped at Agnes, his voice rising. "Now leave her alone. She doesn't need you anymore. Drown yourself in a bottle if that's your style, but stay away from her. Get in the car, Shirley." Barnaby Jones watched the exchange from a distance, noting the intense emotions at play. He walked over to Agnes as the car pulled away, leaving a cloud of dust in the driveway. "From your look, I'd say you could tell me what that was all about," Barnaby observed gently. "Well, that's the trash my baby wound up with when she stopped listening to me," Agnes said bitterly, watching the road. "Lloyd Kilgore. He used to be a famous running back by that name. That's him. Old Mr. used to be. Big Super Bowl star. He hurt his back, but always gonna be a big this or that. The only big thing he'll ever be is a big drunk. And that's who Miss Evans has been, keeping company with the last 2 or 3 years." Barnaby inquired, seeking to understand the network of relationships surrounding the star. "Shirley's bright on all sides, but one, the man's side," Agnes explained, her tone softening with a deep, protective sorrow. "Those 2 louses she married just wanted her for a name. She had a baby, a little girl. No, is what I've been reminding her. If she's going to start acting again, she might as well include acting like a mother. Keeping that little girl in that boarding school, it just isn't right." "Agnes, you're sounding like, you're not too happy about Miss Evans going back on the stage," Barnaby noted, picking up on the underlying reluctance in her voice. "I know it's just going to happen all over again," Agnes admitted, her eyes filling with a long-held fear. "I know it. She just isn't ready. If I had my way, she'd never go near that theater." Later that afternoon, the rehearsal hall was filled with the lively strains of a piano melody. Shirley Evans was on stage, moving with a grace that seemed to defy the heavy burdens she carried. She sang with a vibrant energy that filled the room. "Oh, Heather Bloom come a long, long way from Bloomington, Indiana, and lessons on the piano, a little finesse, a little finagle, you're ordering toast instead of a bagel, ah. Yes, you dropped the name of Rose and a little bit off the nose, and the accent hardly shows you're the picture of a shixie going places, Heather, so packed blast." Shirley suddenly stopped, her foot catching on a piece of tape on the stage floor. She stumbled slightly, her face flushing with frustration. "No, it's all right, Cheryl. It's coming beautifully." "I'm sorry, Bert," Shirley said, leaning against the piano as the music ground to a halt.
"I'm sorry.
I just get my mouth working and my feet stop." "Take 10, Bert called out to the musicians and the crew, always patient with his star. "Talk to your feet." "All right," Shirley sighed, walking off the stage toward the dressing rooms. "When it's gone, it's gone," a sharp voice murmured from the wings. It was Jill Mallory, the understudy, watching Shirley's retreat with a critical eye. "Better not let her hear you say that, Jill," Ed Davis warned lightly as he passed by with some press releases. "I'm better than she is," Jill stated confidently, her ambition clear in her voice. "I won't quote you, but, it's only a short step from understudy to unemployment," Ed noted dryly. "If she really knew who you are, you'd be fired in a minute," Ed muttered as he walked away, leaving Jill alone with her thoughts. "Well, I've done my homework," Jill whispered to herself, a cold smile touching her lips. "I know where all the bodies are buried. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it that way."
In the hallway behind the stage, Lloyd Kilgore stepped out from the shadows, intercepting Shirley as she made her way toward her private space. "Lloyd," Shirley gasped, stopping in her tracks. "Honey, I gotta talk to you," Lloyd pleaded, his eyes bloodshot and desperate. "Lloyd, I told you, it's all over," Shirley said, trying to push past him, her voice firm but laced with fear. "Please, I need you," Lloyd begged, reaching for her arm.
"Stop it."
"Stop saying that," Shirley cried, pulling away. "Look, it's gonna be different. You and I will go into business together." "Lloyd, please, no more drunk dreams," Shirley said, her heart breaking for the man he used to be. "I made a mistake. Leave me alone, please." "What's going on?" Bert's voice boomed down the hallway as he arrived, seeing the confrontation. "Hey, I thought I told you to stay away from her." Hey, Bert," Lloyd snarled, turning on the producer. "Not that easy, baby. Not that easy."
"Shuh."
Bert stepped between them, his posture solid and unyielding. Lloyd glared at him for a long moment before turning on his heel and storming out the exit door. Barnaby Jones, who had been observing from the back of the auditorium, walked up to the stage area where Bert was calming down. I take it that's not part of the rehearsal, Barnaby remarked dryly. Opening night, it could be a disaster, Bert sighed, rubbing his temples. I sure hope Mr. Parrish hasn't picked himself a falling star.
Get your file out.
Barnaby later tracked Lloyd Kilgore to a quiet local bar where the former athlete was sitting alone at a pool table, aimlessly knocking balls across the green felt. 8-ball off the cushion in the side pocket, Barnaby called out lightly as he entered the quiet space. Not quite as good as the share of the Super Bowl, is it? I know you from somewhere, Lloyd said, looking up with a scowl, his cue stick held loosely in his hands. Sure. Barnaby smiled gently. I'm the fellow you stiff-armed when you made your end run over at the theater. Assuming. Well, I don't want to sue you, Mr. Kilgore, but I would like to level with you. So level, Lloyd muttered, turning back to the table. Somebody's been trying to make a lot of trouble for Miss Evans lately, Barnaby said, his tone becoming serious. I've been hired to find out who and to put a stop to it. Now, I have found that sometime when you come right out and say it, trouble stops. And I collect my money just as you do when you sink the 8-ball. I don't know what you're talking about, Lloyd said stubbornly. Give me a double. Wendell, he called out to the bartender. You still here? Lloyd asked, looking back at Barnaby, who hadn't moved. Yep, Barnaby replied calmly. Do you have any special reason for not wanting to see Miss Evans on that stage opening night? Sir, if you don't mind, Lloyd began, his voice cracking slightly with emotion. Just trying to make a fool out of her, don't you know that? Why do you say that? Barnaby asked, listening intently. She's in no condition to get on the stage, Lloyd burst out, his true feelings finally showing through the anger. She's like me, washed up drunk. They get her up, they make a fool out of her, and then what?
Huh?
What? We were fine, just fine. Why don't they leave us alone? Just for the record, do you recall where you were at 10:30 last night? Barnaby inquired gently, keeping his focus on the timeline of the first intrusion. Yes, here. Have a few, Lloyd said automatically. Oh no. Cody's. That doesn't check out, Mr. Kilgore, Barnaby countered mildly. Over at Cody's, they say you left by 10 o'clock. You're so smart. You figured out, Lloyd snapped, turning his back on the detective. I don't know what's leaving them alone. Yeah, sure, Barnaby murmured as he walked away. Like they say, never hustle a hustler. Well, back at the theater, the emotional ripples of the confrontation were still settling. Shirley sat in her dressing room, staring into the mirror as Bert stood by the door. Look, we both know what's right, right? Bert said softly. I mean, I can't say anything without seeming selfish, you know? I'm sorry, Bert, Shirley said, turning to look at him, her eyes soft with affection. Lloyd was just acting like an adolescent. I don't care about him. I care about you, Bert said sincerely. Well, don't you fear, Shirley reassured him, a touch of her old confidence returning. All I want is a little meditation with my feet, and they'll be back in working order tomorrow. I promise. Who needs a promise? Bert smiled, the tension leaving his face. Could I ever be accused of coming between you and a communion with your feet? I love you, Bert. I love you. I love you. You meditate, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. As Bert left the dressing room, he crossed paths with Agnes, who was carrying a garment bag. Agnes, Bert said, stopping her. Mr. Parrish. I thought you were supposed to stop by the school to see Kathy this afternoon. I completely forgot. Shirley's voice came from inside the room, full of sudden guilt. Well, don't whip yourself in front of me, lady, Agnes said as she walked in, her voice stern. I'm the one who has to tell Kathy all those lies when she calls. Agnes, I'm exhausted. Shirley defended herself, her defensive walls going up again. Your daughter's tired, too, Agnes countered sharply. Tired of being a number in a uniform in that boarding school.
Stop it.
Shirley cried out, her voice rising to a painful pitch. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to get it all together for all of us. All right? Well, you tell me if it's all right, Agnes said, unyielding. Well, what good is it all going to be if it's going to start all over again?
Oh, no.
The world needs a star, is that it? Well, Kathy needs a mother, and it don't look like she's gonna get one come good times or bad. Just look who's talking. Shirley shouted, her face flushing with anger. I never once heard you complaining about the good times. The bright lights never hurt your eyes. Or the parties. Or the trips. I never once heard you complaining about traveling first class. You are a hypocrite, Agnes. And if it weren't for me, you'd still be washing some floors in an office building. You go to hell, Agnes said quietly, the words cutting through the air with a cold precision. Agnes, Shirley gasped, the anger instantly draining out of her, replaced by a deep shock. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'll pick up my things later, Agnes said flatly, turning and walking out of the room, leaving Shirley completely alone in the silent space. The next morning, Barnaby Jones was in his office, reviewing old newspaper clippings and photographs spread across his desk. His daughter-in-law and brilliant assistant, Betty Jones, walked in with a fresh folder. She certainly doesn't look as though she had a drinking problem here, Betty remarked, looking at an old glamour shot of Shirley Evans. My, she was a beautiful woman. Still is, Barnaby noted, his eyes scanning the text of an old article. Oh? Betty smiled. When you say, oh, like that, I don't even have to look at you to know you're wearing that great big Cheshire cat grin. Really? Barnaby chuckled. Whenever I see you scratching around on your desk like a chicken, I have a feeling that what you're looking for is probably right under your nose. Some detective, Betty teased gently. I knew it was there all the time, Barnaby said, pointing to a specific column in the paper. I just wanted to make you feel indispensable. Tired and indispensable. Yeah, here it is. The young woman who was killed by Miss Evans' car was Miss Phyllis Sherman. Betty, check the New York papers and see if you can come up with an obituary. There's a date. I'll do that tomorrow morning, Betty promised, making a note. Does she have any idea who's been making these calls? Nope, Barnaby said, shaking his head. She says it's a recording. Of course, anyone could have taken that off of a television rerun of one of her pictures. I got this from a TV station. He pressed the play button on a small tape recorder on his desk, and the haunting words filled the room once more. You've destroyed everything of value. You don't deserve to live. Oh, dear, Betty said softly, a chill running down her spine. Could be a crank call. But I don't like it, Betty, Barnaby admitted, his face growing serious. She's got an unlisted number, but that doesn't mean it's secret. I promised Mr. Parrish I'd give her a call tonight. Later that evening, the telephone rang in Shirley Evans' darkened house. She answered it with a trembling hand. Please, just leave me alone, she whispered into the receiver. Whoever you are, stop calling. Please. Miss Evans, listen now. Barnaby's voice came through the line, calm and reassuring. This is Barnaby Jones. Oh, Shirley gasped, a wave of relief washing over her. Have you been getting calls from that voice again? Barnaby asked urgently. Yes, twice. A half hour ago, Shirley said, her eyes wide as she looked around the empty room. I tried to call Bert. I'm afraid. Let me talk to Agnes, Barnaby requested. Agnes isn't here, Shirley said, her voice cracking. We had a fight. She's gone. Oh. Miss Evans, what is it? Barnaby asked, hearing a sudden gasp on the other end. Oh, Shirley moaned. What's the matter? Barnaby pressed, rising from his chair. There's someone here again, Shirley whispered, terror gripping her completely. Betty, call the police on the other phone, Barnaby commanded quickly, turning to his daughter-in-law. Tell them to get over there, right away. Miss Evans. Leave me alone, Shirley's voice echoed through the house as she dropped the phone. No. John. It's the end of this whole nightmare. Within less than an hour, the property was once again secured by the authorities. Barnaby arrived to find the police surrounding the outdoor swimming pool area. Lieutenant Biddle walked over to meet him. My apologies, Miss Evans, the lieutenant said as Shirley stood near the doorway wrapped in a blanket. For discounting the call the other night, it's just another prowler. It must have been Kilgore. He didn't get away, so lucky this time. Looks like he fell, hit his head. Oh, no. Shirley wept, burying her face in her hands. Don't, Cheryl. Bert comforted her, holding her close. Why did it have to be him? Shirley cried. I don't know, Bert said softly, looking over at the body near the pool edge. Accidental attack. Almost by the book, Barnaby, Lieutenant Biddle noted, stepping aside with the detective. A jilted boyfriend comes back to harass the girlfriend. Only in this case, he probably stumbled back. We've got a drunk sheet on Kilgore that long. Well, if he was running away, he sure took a wrong direction, Barnaby observed, his eyes analyzing the placement of the footprints and the structural layout of the pool deck. Why did he start with the pool area? Drunks and directions don't mix very well, Lieutenant Biddle reasoned with a shrug. Did you ever see one driving down the freeway the wrong way? Just as fatal. Yeah, I suppose, Barnaby said thoughtfully, though his mind was already turning over the inconsistencies. You find out any different, you're sure to let me know, huh? Sure will that time, the lieutenant promised. Miss Evans, I don't think you'll be troubled by prowlers any longer. We can get a full statement on this later. Certainly, Bert said. Thank you, Lieutenant. Talk to you, Barnaby, Biddle said as he walked away to direct his men. Miss Evans, Barnaby said, approaching the shaken actress. When you were being chased and running and trying to find your way out of the house, did you see that it was Kilgore? No, Shirley said, shaking her head tearfully. If I'd known, I wouldn't have run from him. I'm not afraid of Lloyd. I feel sorry for him. Eddie, could I have something to drink, please? Shirley asked, turning to the publicist who had arrived shortly after the police. I'll get you some water, Miss Evans, Ed Davis said quickly, heading toward the kitchen. Mr. Parrish, Barnaby said, pulling the producer aside. I'm not sure that this explains the phone calls. Why do you say that? Bert asked, looking confused. Kilgore could easily have gotten. I don't think so, Barnaby interrupted gently. Kilgore was a muscular, overt type of man, the kind who would barge in. I can't see him fiddling with tape recorders or scary phone calls. I suppose your judgment is right, Bert conceded after a moment of thought. I'll have to get the phone numbers changed, I guess. Mr. Parrish, Ed Davis said, returning with a glass of water. Yes. I think I'd better run down to the press room, see if I can deter the story from the newspapers, at least soften the facts a little, you know. That's a good idea, Eddie, Bert appreciated. Thanks for coming over so soon. Yeah. Mr. Davis, on call 24 hours a day. Barnaby asked casually as the publicist left the house. Excuse me? Bert asked. He got here awfully fast, Barnaby noted. Well, I think he said he had to come over here anyway to pick up some pictures or something, Bert explained. I was having a phone conversation with Miss Evans when it happened, Barnaby recalled, looking at the disconnected telephone on the side table. She said that she'd had a quarrel with Agnes. Cheryl and Agnes have been going at it for years, Bert sighed, downplaying the conflict. They were arguing about Cheryl's daughter, she said. Barnaby continued. Does Cheryl live around here? In Candlewood, Bert answered. It's a private school out in the hills. At the Candlewood school, the atmosphere was quiet and orderly. In the visitors' lounge, a young girl with expressive eyes looked at her mother with a mixture of hope and sadness. Why can't she see me? She promised, the little girl, Kathy, asked Agnes, who was standing nearby. Oh, Kathy, when you get older, you'll have to realize that promise means try, Agnes explained gently, trying to protect the child's feelings. You're older, Kathy pointed out with a child's direct logic. You come when you promise. Go ahead, Agnes. Explain that one. Hello, pet. How are you? Shirley's voice broke through the tension as she walked into the room, her arms open. Maybe if I were a pet, you'd keep me around the house, Kathy said, her tone defensive as she stepped back. Hush now, Agnes whispered softly to the girl. Kathy, I'm doing this for both of us. You have to understand that, Shirley pleaded, her heart aching at the distance between them. I do, Kathy said quietly. You're in a place you can afford to keep me. But you can't keep me because you're in a play. I'm working, Shirley explained. I'm gone all day. That's nothing. I'm gone all year, Kathy said, the emotional hurt clear in her young voice. What do you care? I do care, Kathy, Shirley said, tears welling up in her eyes. At least when you were drunk, you used to come and see me, Kathy revealed, a painful truth hanging in the air. I liked you better when you were drunk. Don't talk to your mother like that, Agnes reprimanded gently, seeing the devastating impact of the words on Shirley's face. What mother? Kathy cried, turning away. You don't care. All you care about is yourself and your theater, theater, theater. Kathy, please, Shirley sobbed as the girl ran out of the room into the courtyard. Oh, let her go, Agnes sighed, placing a comforting hand on Shirley's shoulder. Little hurts like that hurt big when they're that age. Agnes, what am I supposed to do? Shirley asked, her voice cracking with despair. I heard about last night, and I'm sorry that I wasn't there. Really sorry. Why should you be any different? Nobody's ever there when I need them. What do people want from me, anyhow?
Yes.
You've come a long, long way from Bloomington in the theater. What'll you do if you ever have to go back? The pressure of the upcoming opening night was mounting, and back at the rehearsal hall, the energy was focused entirely on perfecting the performance. Take 10, the stage manager called out after another intense sequence. Steve, you're crossing over too far, Bert directed one of the actors on the stage floor. You like? Jill Mallory asked as she finished her routine, looking toward the production desk. That was good. Wrong, Bert said with an appreciative smile. It was perfect. Barnaby Jones walked into the auditorium, his eyes fixed on the ambitious understudy. Maybe I better introduce myself, he said, walking down the center aisle. Barnaby Jones. An understudy has to know everything that goes on stage and backstage, Jill said proudly, turning to face him. Then you probably know what happened to Miss Evans off stage, Barnaby suggested, watching her expression. Yes, Jill said, her tone instantly becoming professional and detached.
I'm terribly sorry.
You're a very good actress, Barnaby noted, his voice carrying a quiet weight. What do you mean? Jill asked, her eyes narrowing slightly. Well, I might be sitting here thinking that you really were sorry if I hadn't seen you with Mr. Kilgore in that bar yesterday, Barnaby revealed calmly.
So?
Jill challenged, crossing her arms. So, what business were you discussing with Mr. Kilgore? Barnaby inquired. No business. No business is like show business. I think I got that right, Jill said with a sharp smile. So what? I did it for the good of everyone. She isn't ready. She'll ruin everything and everybody. Mr. Karash is so obsessed with the idea of resurrecting that old lush, he'd never listen. So I tried to get Lloyd Kilgore to talk some sense to her. That's all. Well, if he tried, he died trying, Barnaby said quietly, observing her reaction. Sorry, I can't help that, Jill said defensively. And any plans you may have had when Mr. Kilgore died with him? Barnaby asked, pushing just a little further. What's that supposed to mean? Jill snapped. Shirley Evans is a star to the core. She has recovered from shocks worse than this. She'll be on stage opening night. I wouldn't count on it, Jill said coldly, leaning in. Shirley Evans is also a lush to the core. She's an inch away from popping the cork and going under. Again. The tension broke when the sound of an arriving vehicle was heard outside Shirley's residence. Bert ran through the front door, his face twisted with worry. Shirley, I'm home. Honey, you in here? Bert called out into the seemingly empty house. He found Agnes standing by the kitchen counter, her face pale and her hands trembling. What are we doing? Bert asked. You said to call if there's any trouble. Well, yes, Agnes. What's the matter? She's been here and gone, Agnes whispered, looking down at the counter. And she's gone. She's at the bottle again. She's drinking again. Well, you stay right there, Agnes, Bert said firmly, turning back toward the door. I think I may be able to find her. Well, it's partly my fault, Agnes admitted, her voice cracking with regret. Find her, please. Please find her. Yeah, I'll try, Bert said, rushing back to his car. A short time later, Barnaby Jones was driving down a quiet coastal road when he spotted a familiar figure sitting on a bench overlooking the ocean, a small bottle held in her hand. He pulled his car over and walked softly across the grass.
Oh, sorry.
Are you in a rush? Barnaby asked gently as he approached. Yeah, Shirley murmured, looking up with glazed eyes, a bittersweet smile on her face. Here, take a look at this. For you. It's the obituary notice of a girl in New York, survived by her father, Edward R. Davis of Los Angeles. Good work, Betty. Check him out. Where are you off to? Our lamb has strayed. I've got to catch her before she goes off the deep end. One more. Shirley toasted to the empty air, her voice slurred but filled with a profound musicality. 1 for the money and 2 for the show. That 1 for the money's all right, but it's a 2 for the show to get you. Hey, Barnaby, I don't have to drink alone after all. You don't have to drink alone, Barnaby said softly, sitting down on the bench beside her. Agnes told you, That wretched old fox. Shirley smiled affectionately through her sorrow. Agnes is worried about you, Barnaby reminded her, his tone full of a fatherly warmth. Go on back and tell her not to worry, Shirley sighed, looking back out at the waves. Why don't you come back with me, and then you can tell her, Barnaby suggested gently. No, Shirley said, shaking her head as a tear rolled down her cheek. My little Kathy was right. And I have a little girl. Yeah, I know. I don't think she'd like what you're doing. Oh, yes, she would. Kathy and Lloyd were both right. This is where I belong, right here. Everybody going their own way, minding their own business. I'm just gonna sit right here, blend in with everybody. It's an extra, that's it. Walk on, that's the role I want to play. You're not everybody, Miss Evans, Barnaby said, his voice steady and deeply sincere. You're something special. That's the reason people make the demands on you, that they do. They're hungry for something that you can be, something special. It's not that they're selfish, but they need you. Never mind about them. Think about you. Doing the thing you were born to do and knowing that you're doing it better than anybody else. Not one person in 100 million makes it to the top of the mountain. It's a pretty view from up there. Much better than the view from the bottom of a bottle. I want to do it, Shirley whispered, looking at the bottle in her hand, her true desire breaking through her immense fear. It's so bad. I want to do it. Well, this is all that's keeping you from it, Barnaby said, gently taking the bottle from her hands and tossing it into a nearby waste bin. Come on, I'll help you. We can wait all the way home. Back at the theater, Barnaby found Ed Davis standing near the edge of the stage, looking down into the dark orchestra pit. It's still shallow, Barnaby noted as he walked up behind the publicist. Mr. Perry said you wanted to see me, Ed Davis said, turning around with a calm expression. Yes, Barnaby said, gesturing to the structure around them. I was just looking at the pool. Strange, isn't it? Strange? What's strange? Ed asked, his brow furrowing. How something built for pleasure can become a death trap, Barnaby mused. I hadn't thought of it that way, Ed replied slowly. Accidents happen. I was thinking about another accident that happened in New York 5 years ago, Barnaby said, his sharp eyes locking onto Ed's face. When your daughter was run down and killed by a car being driven by Miss Evans. You think that just happened or Miss Evans was responsible and should have been punished? My daughter was known by her married name, Ed Davis said softly, his professional composure slipping for a fraction of a second. So far no one here has connected except Jill Mallory. Did she tell you? I've been sort of combing the birds out of the fur on my own, Barnaby explained calmly. And the obituary notice listed in Edward R. Davis as the father. I found out that was you. I won't pretend I have any loving fondness for Shirley Evans, Ed admitted, his voice lowering with an old, deep sorrow. But I'm a professional, and so is she. And you don't harbor any old grudges? Barnaby inquired. Just a long-buried feeling of hurt, I guess, Ed said honestly, looking away. Don't get me wrong. I love my daughter as much as any father, but Phyllis was wild. She ran with the pack, and everyone concerned has suffered enough a long time ago. That's very understanding of you, Barnaby acknowledged. But you don't believe me, Ed observed, looking back at the detective. Let's say I'd like to believe you, Barnaby said with a gentle nod. Well, that's fair enough, Ed sighed, turning back to his paperwork. Oh, boy. That's why they call them deadlines. You kill yourself trying to beat them. Later that night, the clock in the Barnaby Jones investigation office ticked toward late hours. Betty looked up from her typewriter as Barnaby continued to review his notes. If you're going to start spending the nights here, I'm going to order a daybed for the office, okay? Betty joked lightly, stretching her arms.
What?
Barnaby asked, breaking out of his deep concentration. It's almost 10 o'clock, Betty pointed out. Look, I know it's not important to cute fellas like you, but I really need my beauty sleep. Betty, would you please get me Mrs. Parrish on the phone? Barnaby requested suddenly, a new line of thought forming in his mind. Don't you mean Mr. Parrish? Betty asked, surprised. When I say Mrs., I mean Mrs., Barnaby clarified. Poor Mr. Parrish. I wonder if his show is ever going to open. You ever have the thought that maybe he doesn't want it to open?
What?
Betty asked, her interest piqued. You ever hear of the producer who sold 200% of his show, and the only thing that could save him was a quick flop? Barnaby suggested, revealing the hidden financial complexities that often drove theatrical mysteries. Betty quickly dialed the number and handed the receiver to him. Mrs. Parrish? Yes. Would you please hold for Bobby Jones? Mrs. Parrish, I hope I didn't disturb you.
No.
What can I do for you? The woman's voice came through the line. The other night, when your husband was talking to Miss Evans, he gave you the phone. Is that right? Barnaby asked. Yes, she confirmed. Well, he went to the other phone to call the police. Barnaby continued, verifying the timeline. You stayed right on that phone until Mr. Parrish and the police got to Miss Evans? Yes, she replied. Well, I'm afraid they didn't have anyone to talk to, Barnaby noted thoughtfully. Poor Shirley had dropped the phone and run for her life by then. Now, Mrs. Parrish, I'm going to ask you to tell me exactly everything. Suddenly, a strange click echoed on the line, and the haunting recorded voice broke through the connection once more. Hello? You've destroyed everything of value. You don't deserve to live. Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you? Betty answered another line that began ringing simultaneously. This is Agnes. The frantic voice of the assistant came through. May I speak to Mr. Jones? That crazy call. I just got one. Agnes, Mr. Jones isn't here, Betty said quickly, signaling to Barnaby. Hold on while I try and reach him at another number, please. Just hold on. Barnaby grabbed his coat and rushed out, heading straight towards Shirley's residence. As he pulled up to the neighboring house, he saw the owner sitting on the porch with a large, beautiful animal. Magnificent dog, Barnaby noted as he stepped out of his car, keeping his tone calm. Tame as an old cow, really, the neighbor smiled, patting the animal's head. He's got a good barker on him, though. Only trick he knows is barking. You keep him outside at night? Barnaby inquired, looking at the clear path between the two properties. Yeah. He'd be out there now if you weren't here, the neighbor replied. You don't have to know any more tricks than that, son, Barnaby said to the dog, a final piece of the puzzle falling into place in his mind. He hurried over to Shirley's house, finding the front door slightly ajar. He stepped inside the quiet hallway. Hello? Barnaby called out. You got smart written all over you. The telephone on the console table was off the hook, and a voice was faintly calling from the speaker. It's for you. Your daughter-in-law. Oh, thank you. Betty? Barnaby said, picking up the receiver. Barnaby, I have Agnes on the other line, Betty reported from the office. She just got one of those crank calls again. I thought they were all over. Well, it's not quite all over, Betty, Barnaby said, his voice tightening. Keep talking to her. I'll get right over there.